Ever since LeBron James entered the league 20 years ago, his name has been synonymous with that of Michael Jordan. Throughout the 1980s and 90s, Jordan not only dominated but completely changed the game of basketball on a worldwide scale. Jordan's winning transcended the NBA as he became the huge brand and remains today through his signature plays, continued greatness, and unparalleled mindset. Those who've seen the Netflix The Last Dance have witnessed how Jordan's unique style transformed the way the game was played. A smaller player who was able to use his athleticism, determination, and basketball IQ to win, and to do so consistently through his commitment to his craft. Michael Jordan is recognized as the greatest player of all time, capturing 6 NBA titles and kickstarting one of the greatest dynasties of all time. Jordan went on after winning 6 NBA championships and would have likely won many more had he not decided to controversially walk away from the sport for 2 years while in his prime, retiring as the undisputed greatest of all time, with many believing that status would never be challenged. Around that time of Jordan retiring, though, a young phenom from Akron, Ohio, was arising. Since his days at St. Vincent St. Mary's High School, James was known as a truly spectacular talent. His athleticism was not something that had been seen since Kobe Bryant's high school days, but James looked to be a step above. In many ways, Jordan changed the game and brought an influx of fans from all over the globe who wanted to see his airness glide and fly over the court. His dominance as a two-way shooting guard was unprecedented, and until today, we haven't seen a player compete with him in that sense. Of course, his accolades are truly spectacular on an individual and team level, but there might be a man who can possibly challenge him when it comes to career accomplishments, and his name is LeBron James. Former Pro Bowl winner like Reese has given his take on the GOAT debate between Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Reese was a professional footballer, but had a great deal of interest in basketball. He has followed the sport passionately over the years. The former NFL star picked Jordan as an undisputed GOAT when discussing the debate in a conversation with Reggie Roberts, host of Ballfather podcast by Sportskeeda, saying, "There's always going to be a debate about who's the greatest basketball player, and I think Jordan will have it hands down." Reese assured he gave the appropriate respect and tribute to LeBron for his greatness. The former NFL player said there is one aspect that cannot be debated about the LA Lakers star. When you think about the greatness, the longevity, and how long he's been able to do it and then do it, yeah, you have to want to debate who's the greatest basketball player. I don't know if you can debate who's the greatest athlete of all time, said Reese, and that's where I think I'm going to have to start putting LeBron in this box. LeBron James and Michael Jordan's GOAT debate is indeed never-ending. They played in different eras, played different styles, and had their own version of obstacles they had to overcome to achieve greatness. However, as like Reese mentioned, there cannot be a counter-argument about James being the greatest athlete of all time. James played 20 years in the NBA and hasn't declined much physically. He has maintained his body better than any athlete in the world across various sports, allowing him to be a difference maker at an age where he should ideally had a reduced role. LeBron James is in his 20th year in the league. He turned 38 years old about a month ago. Coming into the season, his critics doubted whether James would play at a high level. However, James has put those concerns to bed. Since turning 38 on December 30th, 2022, James has averaged a league-high 34.8 points, 9.4 rebounds, and 8.1 assists per game, shooting 52.4% from the field. He single-handedly kept the Lakers afloat during that stretch as the team was missing key players like Anthony Davis, Lonnie Walker, and Austin Reeves. James' unparalleled longevity continues to amaze fans. It is certainly something that will be talked about for ages. No player in the history of the sport has carried a contending team in a year 20, age 38. LeBron James is also about to surpass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the NBA's all-time scoring record, which only adds to his legacy. James is currently 158 points away from passing Kareem. He was expected to break the record this year, but not this soon. His recent scoring tear has contributed to it. He may sit atop the all-time scoring charts within the next 5 to 10 games. Michael Jordan is widely considered the better talent compared to LeBron James, who is also one of the greatest players in NBA history. While his Nike shoe deal put him on another planet in terms of marketing, his game is what separated him from so many of the greats. Jordan's career average of 30.1 points per game across 15 seasons surpassed James' average of 27.2 points in 20 seasons. Jordan also had a higher scoring peak, averaging over 37 points per game, while James' highest score average is 31.4. However, James has the advantage as a better passer and rebounder, and their defense abilities are evenly matched. In a clutch scoring situation, Jordan would likely be the first choice. Michael Jordan did not challenge for the all-time scoring record held by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Jordan retired roughly 6,000 points behind Abdul-Jabbar. But it was LeBron James who eventually broke the record. James is expected to add even more points to the record, making it virtually unbreakable. This disparity can be explained by a few factors that favor James, including circumstances that did not align for Jordan during his career. We should also remember that Jordan played in a much more difficult era. The 1980s and 90s were a much tougher era. Defense was better and teams were better. The 1990s had the most teams that won 50 or 60 games in NBA history for a decade. Despite that, Jordan's Bulls defeated 7 60-plus win teams, a record for a dynasty team in a decade, and 20 teams that had between 50 and 59 wins. 27 of the 37 playoff opponents Jordan faced had over 50 wins, while 18 of LeBron's opponents out of 37 had under 50 wins. Imagine what Jordan's numbers would be if he faced LeBron's competition. Jordan was guarded by Defensive Player of the Year players in the playoffs several times: Sidney Moncrief, Alvin Robertson, Dennis Rodman, and Gary Payton. Jordan won the 1988 Defensive Player of the Year during a time when it was much more difficult to win that award due to the number of great defenders. Jordan played great defense in all 6 of his NBA Finals appearances. LeBron James allows his opponents to increase their scoring averages in the finals, like Tony Parker in 2007, Jason Terry in 2011, Kevin Durant in 2012, and Andre Iguodala in 2015. This really isn't close. Jordan locks down his opponents while James struggles. Not only that, but Michael Jordan takes over games and is able to lift his team when needed. The 1993 East Finals and the 1993 Finals were great examples of this. In the East Finals against New York, the Knicks had the Bulls reeling until Jordan was able to score 54 against them in Game 4. Then a total team effort ended New York's 27-game home winning streak. In 1993 Finals, Game 6 looked like a loss because the entire Bulls team minus Jordan went cold. Jordan scored all 9 points in the fourth to keep the Bulls in it, and then was able to get his open teammates involved to win the game on John Paxson's 3. Watch the footage on the bench. It was Jordan keeping everyone together, telling everyone not to panic. LeBron James has a great difficult showing up in the fourth quarter of tight games, especially in the finals. When his team hit adversity, he disappears many times, something we never saw from Jordan. Leaders don't disappear when they're needed the most. LeBron James has played more seasons than Michael Jordan, giving him an advantage in his career numbers. LeBron entered the NBA at 18 while Jordan debuted at 21. LeBron had a physical advantage over a young Jordan and started playing varsity basketball earlier. Jordan missed his age 30 and 31 seasons due to retirement and retired for good at 35, missing 2 more seasons. If those missed seasons were included, Jordan would likely have set a higher career record. Jordan's career was before the three-point revolution, leading to limited three-pointers made. LeBron James has made over 3 times the number of three-pointers Jordan did and has scored nearly 5,000 more points from behind the arc. The difference is mainly due to the increase in three-point attempts by teams in the current NBA compared to Jordan's time. Jordan's three-point shooting improved slightly between 1994 and 97 when the NBA shortened the three-point line to increase offense. This suggests Jordan could have been a better three-point shooter in a league that favored it. And perhaps the most compelling argument in favor of James, who may be the most scrutinized player the NBA has seen, is that he has managed to dominate so many different aspects of the game for all of these years. At 38, James continues to raise the bar when it comes to what experts think is possible for an elder statesman in a league where the average age at the start of the 22-23 season was 26 years old.